Hi, I'm Gabrielle Glancy. I'm delighted to be here again. This time, it's a very exciting announcement that I have to make, and I want to speak about it. Um, Again, I'm Gabrielle Glancy. I am so excited to announce this, what I've been working on. I think it's really important. So today is the the launch of ShareThatThought.com. It's a nonprofit startup that I started up about 8 days ago, probably, although I've had the idea for this for a very long time. And the premise of ShareThatThought.com is that you don't have to be an expert to have great ideas. I was noticing since this COVID-19 crisis really kicked in about a month ago, or maybe it's a month and a half by now, that I was relying on certain Facebook friends who were sifting through the news to post what they thought were the most relevant articles and to comment on them. And then there would be this sort of range of comments from people I knew and people I didn't who were friends of that Facebook friend. And I began to see that I wish there was a dedicated site for just that. So a site that was devoted to people like you and me. I'm not an epidemiologist or virologist or even a doctor, to put our heads together to see if we can come up with ideas that would be useful. I am sure we can. I love to tell this story. I was brainstorming this idea, and my mail guy, who was wearing he drives a truck and drops the mail in the slots at the top of my street, was wearing a mask, and he was on the right side of the truck, and I was about 12 feet away from him, and I told him we talked about it, I told him the idea, and he said, "Isn't that crazy? The thing isn't even alive. It's dead, but then it becomes alive when it reaches a human being or a living organism." I said, "It's so crazy, and apparently it doesn't like the heat, but it likes the cold. How could it be that way if it's not alive, that it doesn't like the heat, but it likes the cold?" He said, "Yeah, you know what they should do? They should invent these infrared wands. You put them in your mouth, they're infrared light, and then they just kill the thing that isn't even alive before it can do any damage." And I said, "Oh, that's a great idea. That's really a good idea." And about 4 hours later, I was on Facebook and I saw an ad for infrared wands. I kid you not. And everything came together, and I thought, you know, this is the moment to launch what I've been wanting to do for a long time. When my book Unstuck came out in the fall, I gave a lot of interviews, and in those interviews, I spoke about what I hoped to be the sort of final act of my career when I retire from being a college counselor, which was to found this nonprofit called ShareThatThought.com. So it's been in the works for a long time. And I had the idea to gather people together in global roundtables, people from all walks of life, cross-culturally, in a non-competitive, non-hierarchical environment, and to have everybody present lay people with the basics, just like my mail person, and say, this is how it reacts. This is what we know about it now. What you can read on in the New York Times, on Johns Hopkins site, on CDC, NPR, just general information that is at this point common knowledge, updated, of course, and tell people this is how it reacts, and let them brainstorm without the basically the restrictions of the academy or big business saying, no, you can't do that, without any preconceptions, so they can really think outside the box. So that's the idea of ShareThatThought.com. There was no time for a beta, and obviously there's no way to do global roundtables with tables that have real legs in a real room. So it's virtual, which is actually an ideal, I think, platform for this. And I set it up. I got help. I took out a business loan, and I hired I don't know anything about really that much about building websites, especially that have some complexity. And I built a website called ShareThatThought.com. You can click on it and find it. And on this website, basically, it'll explain how I came up with the idea, a little bit about who I am, and then also there's topics like vaccines, testing, rate of infection, that kind of thing. So you can go to a topic. So it's sort of like being on Facebook, seeing people post, responding informally to their posts. And then there's no place really where all that information, like a warehouse or a storing house, a storage house, where all that information is kept. So on sharethatthought.com, it's broken up into different topics. Go to the topic, see what the articles are. You can post your own article. It's a little bit more complicated than just sharing on Facebook, although you could go to Share That Thought Community on Facebook. It's a Facebook page, and that you can share and that site is dedicated specifically to COVID-19. But on the website, you can there's a directions, a little kind of tutorial on how to post something if you want to initiate a post. If you want to comment on a post, it's very, very easy. And you just click on comment and comment away. So that's what I wanted to say. It's what I wanted to announce. I think it's pretty polished considering we did it in 5 days. For any of you website builders and experts in this field of building a website, we're open to suggestion and probably even volunteers. It's all done, through, I sort of founded it, and then I had to find people to help me build it. And as I said, I took out a loan to do that. So there's a donation kind of you can click to donate. I would love it if it supported itself and I didn't have to keep supporting it. And I would love it if somehow Share That Thought made even the smallest contribution to saving the lives of thousands of people, including our own. I'm 60 and I have asthma, and my mother is 91 and haven't seen her in over a month. The clock is ticking, and there's really no time to waste and to stand on ceremony or to exclude people who could have great ideas just because they don't have credentials. I think, the virus is widespread and the solution needs to be widespread too. The virus is global. The solution needs to be global. And not only that, the virus pays no attention to race, ethnicity, sexual preference, gender, and those who are coming up with a solution. It doesn't matter where you're from, how much education you have, what credentials you have, race, ethnicity, any of it. The virus doesn't discriminate, and we shouldn't discriminate either. So let's beat the virus and spread the word about sharethatthought.com. Please provide your feedback and just get on there and start brainstorming. I believe this is the way we can fight this and many other things together, but this is the most pressing thing. So I'll be popping in here now and again to tell you new developments. There's a contact page on the website. You can contact me directly through that. You can go to the Facebook Share That Thought community and post there. And I would have to say this is the most exciting thing probably I've ever done in my life. And I'm so excited to be a part of it. And the beauty of it is that everyone can contribute. Thanks.